WPTV has instilled a new brand in the community that has homeowners in the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast talking.
If it weren't for this segment on WPTV, the Impact 5, we thought it was ending. And then when we saw that on the news, it was, okay, we're going to contact them.
Aquin told me, sorry, can't do anything for you. I happen to, wait a minute, Impact 5 is going to be in Port St. Lucie tonight as I'm going.
Impact 5 has told the stories of dozens of homeowners and their struggle during the housing crisis.
The smell of smoke fills John Heilfrich's swamp-like backyard.
I love this home, you know, and it crushes me to lose it.
Hours away from moving out, John is burning personal documents out back and selling everything he owns out front.
I got here because, you know, I went through hard times like a lot of people are today, and I got behind and ended up in foreclosure.
The Flagler foreclosure was John's home for 17 years. The past 5 were spent fighting off a foreclosure.
I'm to blame for some of the issues, but a lot of things happened.
John says he had a lawyer at one point and fought with the bank about lost documents for 2 years, but never came to a resolution. He regrets not trying to do more.
Don't try to put it off. It was one of the worst things I've ever been through. I mean, I never thought that I could actually be maybe living in my car.
But John says it's a cleansing process and a fresh start.
I wake up every morning and I look up and thank God. And it's going to be a good day. It's going to get better.
And these real stories are getting real results.
A homeowner at just 22 years old.
Constantly on the go.
Taylor Hartman worked full-time as a medical assistant and studied business full-time at Palm Beach State College.
Kept me occupied, kept me out of trouble.
Her free time was split between her 2-bed, 2.5-bath townhome in Lake Worth and the water.
Swimming, going to the beach, boating.
Everything just was going along just the way any 22-year-old would love to have their life go at the time. Then April 23rd happened. And life changed.
I dove into a more shallow part of the pool and ended up fracturing 2 vertebrae in my neck.
We got to the hospital, and they told us that she was paralyzed. And it's kind of one of those things you don't want to believe it.
Unable to return to work, her family started helping pay the bills. Taylor turned to her lender, Bank of America. She proposed a 6-month deferment, and 6 months later,
basically flat out said no. It's not something that they're going to work with me.
Taylor's story sparked action from the community.
Right after their story aired, Tony Licavoli from the Homeowner Assistance Division of the Paul Krasker Law Firm started working on Taylor's mortgage modification. He submitted the same exact paperwork Taylor and her mom did with a different outcome.
They actually reduced the payment 60%. From what you were paying before.
That's great.
Which is
That's awesome.
Substantial.
This summer, News Channel 5 hosted a live primetime town hall meeting.
The American dream in jeopardy.
Walking away is not the answer.
Fighting against foreclosures and anxious for answers.
Everybody has a shot.
Ready for a recovery and a return to home ownership.
It is my ultimate goal to own a home.
From ground zero of the housing crisis, News Channel 5 is live at the Port St. Lucie Civic Center as part of our year-long initiative to restoring the American dream. This is Impact 5, Housing Market Reality Check.
Close to 100 homeowners came out to talk about their struggles.
I'm joined now by Harry O'Brien. Harry has been trying to go through a loan modification for 4 years now, Harry?
Correct.
And something, sadly, is taking place tomorrow.
Right. The house goes on the auction block in Palm Beach County tomorrow. The bank don't want to negotiate. Also, the banks do not recognize a vet in this state. They won't deal with you. So that's my option to come back for a lawsuit. They failed. They don't want to deal with me because I'm a vet. I'm retired. I spent 20 years in defending this country, and this is what happens? Nah, not my book.
Impact 5 is now following his journey to save his home.
Minutes after our meeting was over, Mr. O'Brien was surrounded with support. Fabian Silnick with the Paul Krasker law firm offered his help.
My mind is spinning saying, what are we going to do? How's he going to go about it?
This morning, Mr. O'Brien got the news we were all hoping for.
He says, I got the best news you'd ever want. I says, well, you said the sale was canceled. He says, yeah, we don't know who did it, why they did it.
Impact 5 also hosts phone banks and web chats, giving our viewers the opportunity to get advice when they often don't know where to turn. Impact 5 also has a comprehensive web page with the latest housing news and resources for users, including interactive worksheets that help them find programs that work for them. The Impact 5 project is also backed by a diverse advisory board made up of lawyers, bankers, nonprofits, and other community leaders. Everyone is taking note of Impact 5's dedication to the community. One of our advisors writes, quote, I just want to express our gratitude for the great job News Channel 5 is doing to help homeowners find real solutions and real help in what equates to a minefield of scammers and misinformation, unquote. The project is also supported by a robust promotion campaign.
The housing crisis has affected all of us in some way.
That's why News Channel 5 is facing this challenge head on. Impact 5 is our unprecedented year-long commitment to helping local people restore their American dream.
Stories that focus on identifying problems and finding solutions.
Phone banks that cut through the red tape and double talk to get you real answers.
We're all in it together, and together we can make an impact. Impact 5.
News Channel 5's year-long commitment to help solve the housing crisis.
It is sponsored by committed local companies.
When the economy took a turn for the worst, so did my business. Seacoast worked with me by modifying my loan. I believe in a win-win philosophy in business, and I know Seacoast does too.
Seacoast National Bank is a proud sponsor of Impact 5.
In addition to giving homeowners a voice, we're lending our own voice to push for more change and help in the housing crisis.
Now, a WPTV editorial. Here's our general manager.
The state is sitting on a pile of money that could help those hardest hit by the housing crisis. Florida received $1 billion from the Fed's TARP fund to be used for mortgage payment assistance and reinstatement. Remarkably, only about $132 million has been used. Now, the state has until 2017 to spend the rest. As with most federal programs, the process is encumbered in red tape. The challenge is to figure out the best way to use the money and serve those most in need. A lofty goal for sure, but the needs are right now. Too many people are suffering and they're praying for a lifeline. WPTV urges the state to try and expedite the process and come to the rescue for so many Floridians who are feeling the pain of the housing crisis. I'm Steve Wasserman. Let me hear from you.
This has been a WPTV editorial. Send us your comments.